One of the things that guests often say when they stay with us is that they love all the little touches. They talk about the attention to detail, the character, the feeling that they've walked into somewhere that feels real. And a lot of that comes from places like this. Not the big things, the small things, the pieces that most people don't notice individually, but somehow notice collectively as a feeling. This is Clara Bowe, owned by my friends Paddy and Beverly over at Laurel Farm Garden Centre. Over the years, I've spent countless hours in places like this, antique shops, auction rooms, and reclamation yards. Not because I'm looking for valuable antiques, but I'm looking for pieces with character, things that make a place feel lived in rather than furnished. I bought loads from here over the years, including lots of the furniture and furnishings over in Woodfarm, Tuscany. This chest that we use as a coffee table came from an auction in Dis about 15 years ago. I saw it and I immediately knew where it belonged. I picked this globe up years ago in an antique shop in Debenham, and I love the fact that people just sit and look and ponder the places that they've been. That old French mirror behind me came from an antique shop in Long Melford many years ago. We like to present our Suffolk breakfasts in these lovely old baskets, which I pick up every time I see one. This dining table I happen to know is made from some floorboards that came out of an old Victorian school in Suffolk. And this picture on the wall behind me is an old house that I used to live in Chelsworth many years ago, and I found that in an antique shop near there. The funny thing is that guests rarely mention any items individually. Nobody ever sends me a message saying, "Carl, that lamp changed my life." But they do tell us they love the character. They tell us that the barns, the cottages, and the barges feel cozy and welcoming. They tell us that they appreciate all the thoughtful touches. And I think this is a big part of the reason why, because every piece has already lived a life before it arrived at Wood Farm. Every mark, scratch, and dent tells a story. These things weren't made last month. They've survived decades, sometimes longer. And now they become part of someone else's story, your weekend away, your birthday celebration, your anniversary, proposal, or honeymoon. And I love that. I'm sure these pieces collectively help you switch off from the madness of everyday life, even if it's just for a weekend or a midweek break. When I'm walking around places like this, I'm not just buying furniture. I'm imagining where each piece will end up, which barn, which cottage, which barge, where it'll look right, and how it might make somebody feel when they arrive. Most holiday accommodation is furnished. Anyone can do that. We've tried to do something slightly different. We've tried to create places with personality, places with character, places that feel as though they've evolved naturally over time, which they kind of have. I like to think that they've been curated, and perhaps that's why guests often mention the little touches. Not because of any one item, but because together they help create something that's become increasingly difficult to find. A place that feels genuinely unique.